Hi, everyone. I know it's been a while and I've been just busy with work. And I'm not busy with work, I'm sick. I've been sick for probably almost like a week now, going on 2 weeks now. I'm finally feeling better, but busy. Just I have not had time. So I apologize. I've been wanting to make a Lakers video for a while. I think there's a lot of talks about trading, who we need to trade, what trades need to be done. Honestly, watching every game that I was able to watch, I don't think we need to trade anybody. Obviously, now the Vanderbilt, which makes me so happy. I just saw the news that it was just a sprain. There's nothing serious, so he should be maybe reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks, which excites me because now it's even more like, do we need anybody at this point? No, I don't. I do think that we lack lack like depth in our in our depth in our roster of defense. I feel like for a long time though, the Lakers have not been known as a defensive team. So I'm not I'm okay with not having these superstar defenders. And obviously AD is our best defender on the team and will always be the best defender on the team. My biggest thing is even if we get any player, and I feel like the Bucks are kind of the same situation. Even when they added Damian Lillard, like they're still not doing what they're expected of them. I feel that's the same thing with anybody that you add to this team because at the end of the day, our coach sucks. And if you're a fan, God, by all means, you are a good person because I don't like see anything of value. He doesn't take timeouts ever. Even when there's a point change in when normal teams call timeout to stop the momentum, at least for the defense, to get their shit together and stop their offense from keep scoring on us. Nothing is ever called. I don't know what's with Ham, like just saving all these timeouts. But it's proven to prove that I don't think he knows how to coach. And honestly, I don't know why a lot of the newscasts, a lot of these journalists, reporters are not just actually saying what's actually wrong with this team. And it's not the players. And I feel like some of the players are kind of beating around the bush and kind of saying who they think. Well, not saying who they think. I think they just are saying things without really pointing fingers, but with kind of saying, hey, like, we're a team. I feel like when you have a good coach and a good leader, like players rally around that person. I feel like Cam has not done that and has not brought the best out of our team. And I feel like it has to do with a lot of who he decides to put in our lineup. And then also, not the lineup, also the matchups. Like I've said this week by week, Austin Reeves is not known for our best defender. However, he is always seemingly having to guard the best player on that team. And I just want to remind you guys, this shirt is a representative of last year. Yes, whether you guys think it was a fluke, whether we didn't deserve to be there, this is a representation of like the fact that we made it that far. And I honestly don't think it was a coaching thing. I think it was actually a GM thing, like the GM making those decisions and bringing the best players to the availability to this team. However, doesn't matter how good your GM is if your coach is not going to utilize those players. And I emphasize that every single time. Like the whole last season when they were in the playoff, we begged, everybody begged. Schroeder should not be in the lineup. And what did happen? Every week, it seemed like no matter how long it took, and it took until the fact that we were almost out of the conference at that point, we were already going to lose to Denver, that he finally made the adjustments. And it's just frustrating because as a fan and as a person that tries to watch these games, and there's a lot of games, for your coach to be like, oh, it's just a loss. Like, it's not a big deal. Fans need to just relax. It is a big deal because essentially those games that you've won, that you could have won, potential won, now are losses. And to continue to lose games that teams expect you to win is, well, not even teams, so fans, journalists, everybody expects you to win. It's very frustrating. So the fact that Prince continues to get starter minutes when he hasn't really, like, obviously last game is an exception, but like for he's played as many games as AD and LeBron James. Mind you, they haven't really missed that many games. So the fact that man starts every game, and just from the previous game, which I was so happy, I was like, this is finally getting to it. But it didn't matter because at the end of the day, he still got more minutes than Rui Hachimura, which to me is wild because Rui Hachimura has proved himself to be a big factor in this team. Whether it's, I just feel like he's himself as a player has changed. I feel like he lacks the confidence. And D'Lo made a conversation in an interview where he was saying, it's just having people trust you, having your coaches, not even coaches. I don't even think he said coaches because I think that would have been a real dig. But he was just like having people trust you to make those plays, trust you to, not to sub you out when you miss something. And I think that is a heavy, really heavily inaccuracy. I do think when AD is not performing offensively, he's still giving it 100% on defense. Like he's not giving up on those plays, and I feel like with the rest of our team, there's a lot of players that don't offer a lot, which Prince is one of them. I just don't feel like he's someone exciting to watch, except for the last game and previous game before that. But like to me, he started almost 50 games, and now we're starting to see something out of him. It doesn't make sense. Like obviously, my question is whether or not he's doing it because he knows the trade deadline's coming up, and he doesn't want to be in conversations of being traded. And honestly, the only people that I would even consider trading right now is probably him, obviously, but no one's going to want him. And if you're going to add a big name, you could get away with Reeves, but my biggest problem with getting rid of Reeves is you really have to get like a high caliber like name, like a big name that cannot be just some person that is going to be equivalent to trading out Reeves, because Reeves does make LeBron better in the sense of playmaking. I don't know what it is. It's just chemistry. But I do think when I watch Reeves, like he's 100% hustling. I don't care how terrible you're playing, but to me, 100%, giving your 100%, not giving up on a play, not trying to just play it through the rotation, because that's what I see Prince do. He just doesn't have any aggression. Like I said, the last game was an exception, and tonight will be another game. I think you need to have someone that's going to be, hey, I don't care if we're down by 10. I don't care if we're down by 20. I don't care if we're down by 1. That energy is going to be the same either way. And that's, I think, something you can't take away. Like Vanderbilt being out, I've always loved Vanderbilt. And I feel like if you look at my previous videos, I've said it before, Vanderbilt just got that crackhead. He's like, I want ball. I'm going to find the ball. I'm a ball hawk. And I just like that about him. Yes, he's not productively offensively, but at the same time, you have other players like Reeves. You have players like James. You have players like Anthony Davis that can bring that offense. We need someone like Vanderbilt that is going to give that defensive, like, oh, we all are going to be helping, but we need someone that's going to be like, this is what I love. Like you can tell Vanderbilt loves being on that hustle and trying to get the ball. So the fact that he's not going to be out, it makes me excited. Like I said, I don't care who you trade, because at the end of the day, this team is not going to be good with this coach. And at this point, there's not really, I don't know any other coaches. I feel like D'Lo has been gravitating, which I'm not familiar with the guy on the sidelines. He looks like he's older, but I feel like he gravitates him more on the sidelines, which I feel like is probably the only saving grace of why Ham continues to be on this team and coaching, is because there's other team leaders in the organization that is showing kind of like what like Antonio Pierce thing, where there's still players that have that energy, but like they're being from that other people in the backgrounds, which honestly I would have never thought Antonio Pierce was this person that they obviously feel like they hold to a value, to the significant point that when McDaniels is gone, like you see a huge change in the team and the whole persona. Like they're playing aggressive because they want to play for this person. So I feel like that's not the case with Ham. I don't think this team wants to play. These players want to play with him. The fact that we won against the Celtics proves that obviously, we had LeBron James and we had Anthony Davis watching and seeing what potential. And I honestly think they were coaching this team. Like there's no way we won with Reeves being the best scorer on their team. Like that's insanity. The Celtics have been good. The Knicks have been good. I just, like I said, everybody wants to shit on Reeves when he doesn't do good. I think he's great. Like I'm a stan, but at the same time, like when you have somebody that puts themselves 110%, I can't hate somebody like that. Like I want someone that's going to be aggressive. So I think if I'm starting tonight's game lineup, it has to be without a doubt LeBron James, Anthony Davis. You can interchange D'Lo and Reeves. I don't care who starts in that position. I think they're both great either way. I don't think being them both on the starting position at the same time is not the best. Rui Hachimura has to start. And then, I like Max Christie interswitching with D'Lo and Reeves. And if you want to start Reeves and D'Lo, that's fine too. I think when Vanderbilt comes in, he has to be, without a doubt, your starting lineup and having the most points. The fact that Prince continues to have the most points played, most games started, and most everything is just insanity to me because he doesn't prove to me why. Like I said, it doesn't matter who your best players are if your team coach continues to put them on the bench. I think Rui Hachimura is a shell of himself. He's lost a lot of confidence that I've seen last year. I think the reason being is that he has a coach who doesn't believe in him, and I feel like you could see it because you could see it in his body language. And I feel like I'm very into looking at body language without being there physically, but you can tell like his confidence is down, and I don't blame him. Like I wouldn't want to play. I feel like I'm always constantly on eggshells. Like I feel like that's how the team walks, is on eggshells around our coach. And I feel like that's not a way to play and actually do well. So we'll see how this goes. If Rui's not in the lineup starting up and Prince is, we're going to have problems. Like I really would prefer, like when I saw the lineup, I was excited. Like I said, we made this team this far last year with a way worse standings when we did the trade deadline. I expect us to make playoffs. I expect. This is not even a bare minimum. Like, I didn't expect us to make playoffs last year. I was even surprised. I didn't even think playoffs were a question. But we made the changes. So I think you have the same players. There's no excuse. The other teams haven't gotten significant better. Obviously, Denver's still great. I mean, do I think there's other teams that are way better than us? Probably not. I really think we are really good. We have a lot of talent on this team, but we just refuse to see the problem right in the face, and it's the coach. So, like I said, unless something changes and Ham stops starting people that don't need to start and actually giving minutes to people that actually are showing themselves to be deserving, this team is like hopeless. It's going to continue to lose no matter what we do or what we say. So, like I said, I'm hoping you guys realize that no matter who we trade, does not matter unless we have someone that's going to make the changes when it needs to. Like our matchup shouldn't be Reeves going against Curry, Kawhi Leonard, all those players. Like we need if this is who we have to defend these players, then we have a problem, okay? Obviously, Gabe Vincent being out is a big hole to us, which I'm hoping when he comes back, that is going to resolve a lot of the majority of the problems. However, if you get rid of Reeves, you better be getting another player that's going to play as great offensively to almost the exact, because Reeves he's a good player. He's not a star. He's not like a star player. Like our star player is 39 years old and he has the most points, the most time, the most rebounds, the most assists. It's an insanity. It's like craziness. I've said it before in my previous videos. Like if we continue to have him be our sole main scorer and reliant on him, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. You have a lot of young players. I think the talent needs to start rising and showing that. And I think, like I said, it comes from your coach. Your players are only as good as how well they're coached. And I feel like we're not coached. Like I said, there's many times that I feel like there should have been a timeout and then nothing is called. And then we finally get this random timeout that doesn't even make any sense. Like at this point, challenge plays, because if you're not going to call timeout, just challenge a play, because if you can take a foul off for one of your main starters, that makes a big difference versus just not even doing anything with the timeouts to begin with. All right, guys, I hope we win today. Like I said, depends on the matchup, who they have people lined up against. And I think we should win, but it's very hard to say. We're not consistent enough to be like, this is the team. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's game, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know what you think. Do you think that we need to make a trade? And who do we need to trade? And is it even possible that we can make playoffs this year? Or do you think that something has to change in the starting core? All right. Have a good one.